My favourite event of the year occurs in June up here in the north coast of Northern Ireland, when the second weekend of the Rathlin Maritime Festival moves out to Rathlin Island, and we go there with our traditional boats for a weekend of sailing and banter and crack. This year was particularly good fun because I launched my dabber here at Port Ballantrae. I took the east-going tide along the coast to Sheep Island. The plan was to arrive here at the entrance to Rathlin Sound just as the tide was easing off. That way the overfalls shouldn't be busy. And if I headed north, the last of the tide would ferry glide me across to Bull Point, and then all I had to do was sail into Church Bay and start having some fun with my friends. And this is a video to show how I got on and the fun that we had with the boats. And here I am, setting off from Port Ballantrae. No wind, so I had to use the motor. You can't have everything. And the conditions were flat and perfect for a bit of a passage, so the adventure starts here. I motored down to Ballantoy, and there's Sheep Island just appearing on the horizon. That's my waypoint for turning north. And as soon as I turned north, the breeze came up, I could set the sails, and I was finally using the dabber as it should be, crossing some open water under sail. Finally, sails up, motor off, breeze is obviously coming from where I want to go, but it'll let me cross the sound, and then I'll probably have to give in a motor into the bay. But I'm sailing across Rathlin Sound. Couldn't be bad to that. And arrived at Bull Point. That was lovely. Sadly, the wind was still coming from the east, and my only option was to get back on the motor if I was going to get into Church Bay before the tide turned against me. Once I was into Church Bay, it was just come alongside pontoons. A friend was immediately there to help me tie up, and the weekend could begin. Beside this yellow one. It could get busy later. Careful with steering thing.
2 years on a Bristol pilot cutter with a bowsprit that was longer than yours.
Everybody was starting to gather for the festival. One bit of excitement are these two drum-toms which had come over from Islay, and we were helping to get them rigged and ready to use tomorrow.
Hey!
Right, Mel.
Oh, I wouldn't do it like that, Barney.
Yeah. You know, Barney, we need a wee bit more of that rope.
Oh, that's David's show.
Another couple of 100 metres.
You know what we do need to think about doing though?
Just get it away, yeah.
Well, you think what?
One of these is managed to skip it. You can fit through that.
I was maybe going to put the
Hello, Wild Goose. Hey, Reuben. Here's Wild Goose arriving from Ballycastle, a beautiful wooden yacht built in 1937 and with a very exciting history of loss and recovery. The gang had assembled. Now it was time to set up camp for the night, and I was going to have a tarp over my boat and sleep in the floorboards. So very exciting. I've checked into my hotel and the sun's splitting the stones. So maybe not exactly 5-star accommodation, but it's a wee adventure. And there was some friendly competition to see who could be most hardcore in their camping. Graham, he came in last because it must be cheating to have a cabin on your Drascombe. And Clive and Reuben, well, pop-up tent inside the boat, that's quite comfortable. Roy, who'd done a very neat job pitching a tarpaulin over his drum-tom. Coming in at second was my slightly sorry attempt at a tarp over my dabber. But the winner was Robin, who decided sleeping on the boat was too conventional. He slept underneath his dinghy. Slept remarkably well, so Saturday, after a filling breakfast of all the usual eggs and bacon, it was time to rig boats, go out and start the regatta. James Kelly is our wooden drum-tom, and she'd got into a bit of a sorry state the last few years, so a whole gang of us spent the winter doing a complete refit. Some doing really impressive work, replacing planks and replacing knees. And finally, the big moment. We get to rig James Kelly, we bring the crew on board, and we head out for a sail in the bay and some brilliant crack. Next one.
Toads. That's nice to see you. They're great. I'm Sinead this morning. So I says I will, and I'm pulling her up here now before the summer's over. And we're going to come up just and stay. Right, I'm getting on. I don't see my capsize outside, so I get into the middle. Who needs ballast when you got me? Right there.
Suppler than you.
I'm trying to get the water marginally. Yeah, very polite.
Good job.
Alright, very polite.
That's right.
Marginally. I'll tell my wife that.
Yeah, you take the.
Throw us out of coat, Robin, out your way. Out your red coat there, and I'll pick it up. Take it, I just will pick it out your road there.
Look, the band slug or is it
I'll take a picture, yes.
Jeez, she's going great.
I'm not giving away any trade secrets, you know why the camera's running.
You just say positive things, it's always very important. You know the way it's all about him. You can't be showing the avionics there.
Ladies.
Take yourselves down.
Have you run out of water or petrol or something? Do you say? It's a great rig, isn't it, Roy? They made the colours at the same time as Colour Kill in France, and they got loads of money anyway to come up to Scotland around England, and it didn't happen. But they're sending emails out again to try and get people to be involved. So, everybody look up. That's it.
What's that doing up there?
It's about to be a very expensive experiment. Hi, Chris.
See you working.
I was late and having my off time.
It brings energy into you, doesn't it?
Even header up there when
We said no, we didn't do it. What we did was where it comes in, that there was a originally had
We have to go on the boat. The real Mackay, you know.
Right, with a sponge behind the rag.
Yeah.
Just like do that there. And you see this, to the edge. You can go around the tunnel.
Aye.
You can go around this boat, take you white around.
the boat.
Don't mention the war, God. We're just after getting the insurance again. Alright, yeah. Ready for attack?
Look at that.
what a regatta it was. Out on the water we had a group of Dromtoms, we had curras rowing, we had people playing flute and fiddle, and like every year we had some friendly Vikings who came raiding. Calm conditions held right through to Sunday. Sadly it was time to go home, but that also meant one last adventure with another 15 nautical mile sail back along the coast into Port Ballantrae.
Here somewhere.
And I did get to sail in company of Ellen May, the Drascombe, and James Kelly, the Dromton. The wind lasted until we got to the end of the island, but then it died, which meant back on the motor. But on a day like that, it really doesn't matter. And finally, back into Port Ballantrae, time to get the boat on the trailer and go home.